G'day. As you get older, it's important to keep your fingers moving so as to avoid arthritis, rheumatism, osteoporosis. In your fingers. Anyway, movement, your whole body is going to be healthier if you keep moving. That's why I do a lot of walking, and one of the reasons why I play guitar. Despite my fingers not being optimal for guitar playing, they're not long and they're a bit knobbly. But anyway, that's okay. And so most days I just do a little bit of exercise for my fingers. And one of my favorite exercise tunes is this one. Of course, very famous song, Stairway to Heaven, and it's I suppose a song every guitarist learns, but then is discouraged from ever playing because it has been overplayed somewhat. But anyway, I was just thinking about a part of it where you have to go quite fast between these chords. So it's kind of in the build-up part of the song. That bit of the song there, it's actually a bit tricky because you're going from A minor, which is a relatively easy chord, G, which is probably the second hardest chord I remember learning. The hardest chord I found was the open C, G. It's always hard to get all those three fingers on the right frets all together. It took me ages to get that. And in this part of the song, you've got to move pretty quickly between these. Quickly from the F to the G and then back to the A minor. Otherwise you don't get the feel of the song. So there are two tricks to getting this kind of speed before you may have that dexterity. One of those tricks is an investment in something that is going to pay dividends later on. Bar chords. So F can be played as a bar chord like this. A lot of people just play it like this, so just with that finger holding down two strings instead of all of them. Yep. But if you get to the point where you're playing bar chords, the advantage is that you can move this bar chord up and down. So we are very close here. This is A, G, and F. And all I'm doing is sliding those fingers up. I don't have to reach for fingers on different strings as I would if I'm doing this. Okay, so bar chords are one way of getting speed. Okay, so A minor is up here. That's A. A minor is just lifting one of these fingers, like that. You can look at a chord chart to get that right. So basically, these three chords are like this. So that's the equivalent of playing this. A little bit harder to get your fingers around a bar chord to start off with, but as you can see, you can move up and down the fretboard because your fingers don't have to search for different strings. So you can achieve speed that way, number one. Number two, you don't have to play all the strings. I mean, we see that with the F chord here. I can play it like that, or I can play it like that. It sounds better if you play all the strings, but you don't have to. So let's look at this. A minor is just three strings down there. Again, I'm not going to try and show you here on the guitar. You can look up a chart. But A minor through G to F. That G, you don't have to play all the strings. You can just play that one. So you can go from A, I just let my pinky go down, and then I have a bit of time to go to the F chord. So there's a little bit less effort there. So instead of going for the full open G chord, just play the bottom four strings. Okay, so it's something like this. another way of doing it. Probably the way that I did it was that way. But then once I got my head around bar chords, that was faster for me. So a couple of ways of picking up speed to get to this. The other thing about bar chords is that you can lift, or you can hold the chord down, or you can mute it by temporarily lifting your fingers, kind of similar to what you do on a piano with the pedals. I don't know how to do that, but I understand that's how it works. So that gives you the ability to so you can do that kind of almost a staccato thing, gives your music a bit more drama. Bar chords, a good investment. Cheers, have a good day.